right, welcome back to Gold Seek Radio. Well, up next, it's Robert Ian from Conquer Change. Hello, Robert.
Hey, Chris, this is Robert Ian with ConquerChange.com. An alarming story appeared on MarketWatch Thursday morning indicating that top central banks, namely the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, and the Swiss National Bank, will conduct additional dollar tenders in an effort to provide liquidity through the end of the year. The central banks indicated these auctions were coordinated with each other and the U.S. Federal Reserve. This announcement comes at a time when European banks are struggling to secure dollar funding because of worries about their exposure to Greek debt. And the bottom line is, liquidity is drying up. European banks are less and less willing to lend to each other, so now the central banks have to step into the picture, in coordinated fashion no less, to prime the pump and keep things going, at least for a while. I coined the phrase some time ago that to solve these cascading financial crises, central banks would merely print the difference. And the announcement today illustrates that printing the difference seems to be the solution of choice. It's a fool's game, and it will end badly. Ever since the credit collapse began in 2008, central banks and governments around the world have been interested in only one thing: saving the banks, not the average person. By and large, banks are the problem, not the solution. Once again, the law of cause and effect has been reversed and drummed repeatedly throughout the media. How many bank bailouts will it take before people realize they're not working, they're not helping, and it's only a matter of time until the inevitable collapse? Another alarming announcement came out earlier this week as well. According to data released by the U.S. Census Bureau, a record number of people were in poverty last year as households saw their income decrease. In 2010, 46.2 million people lived in poverty, which was the highest number in the 52 years these estimates have been published. 15.1% of all people in the U.S. were in poverty in 2010, up from 14.3% in 2009. How is the average person dealing with their situation? The census report also noted a gain in what they call doubled-up households, which are formed by combining households with other families or individuals to deal with the tough economic times. This year, roughly 5.9 million adults between 25 and 34 live in their parents' households, which is up 25%. From 4.7 million before the recession. Those of you who are longtime listeners will recall we discussed this on Gold Seek several years ago in real time as it was happening. This census report validates those observations and commentaries with actual statistics. It's clear that the average person has been and is being forced to deal with their own economic setbacks. The entities that seem unwilling to deal with their own setbacks are the banks themselves. However, they seem to be able to kick that mythical can further and further down the road. What many can't see, or refuse to see, is that just around the next corner, the road comes to an abrupt end, on top of a very high mountain of global debt. The last kick will send that can into a massive free fall. That's when the game changes, literally overnight. And until next time, this is Robert Ian with ConquerChange.com. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Robert, for another excellent report. Well, on behalf of the entire GoldSeek.com crew, including Chris Mullen and Peter Spina, I want to wish you a very safe and profitable week ahead. Until we talk again, thanks for listening.